Destiny 2 players hate the new mechanic that Bungie introduced with the Edge of Fate. We're talking about the Matter Spark Ball. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it or if you hate it throughout the campaign of the new Edge of Fate on Kepler, all right? We got Destiny 2's new Metroid Ball mechanic. Might be the worst thing it's ever added. Destiny is a game about orbs. It began with a giant orb, the Traveler, hovering over the last city on Earth in a post-apocalyptic near future. The main thing you do in this sci-fi MMO is shoot enemies to get loot, which they leave behind in various colored orbs. Most raids involved at least one orb-based mechanic, and now Destiny 2 has taken the orb to its natural conclusion, transforming players into one. The newest expansion, The Edge of Fate, has a new mechanic called Matter Spark that makes players become balls of light that roll around like little glowing Samus Arans to navigate secret tube passageways. It is without a doubt the worst thing Destiny has ever forced me to do. Man, I didn't think it was that bad. That's not hyperbole, nor is it intended as a slight against the very thoughtful developers at Bungie. I simply do not like taking a break from what Destiny 2 does very well, shooting, to do something it does very poorly, platforming as a third-person orb. What do you think about this sentence in this article? They said, I simply do not like taking a break from what Destiny 2 does very well, the shooting, to do something it does very poorly, platforming as a third-person orb.
Yeah, I can understand that.
The whole entire thing that we keep selling this game to people on is like, dude, the gunplay, man. You gotta shoot the hand cannons. And then we're like, let's create a campaign where you don't do that.
I mean, it's just for the traversal, though. Like,
it's true. You still get to shoot the guns. It's
the
not
only
like
time you have to use it in any combat scenario is to like break shields off of a guy.
Yeah, you do a little zippy
Not
zappies if you want, but like it's not the most powerful.
Yeah.
It's not like we ran around as a float as the orb the whole time, you know?
Yeah.
I went from orb to lightning surge. Just, that was my experience.
Yeah.
I was pretty much an orb the whole time.
Yeah.
It feels floaty, sluggish, and a bit chaotic. Like trying to navigate a marble through a wooden labyrinth using a magnetic tether. The effect is mildly dizzying. It's especially bad on PC. I didn't have a bad experience using it, like I didn't find it to be dizzying, or I didn't feel like it was very sluggish. It did feel like a marble rolling around though, I do agree with that. It doesn't help that Matter Spark is one of the very first things the Edge of Fate campaign introduces you to. In addition to transforming into slithering sphere to reach new areas, there are also generators you can only power when you're an electric ball, forcing you to constantly shift between forms to bring down barriers and progress the mission. I mean, yeah, that's the whole point of the campaign, is that, they created a puzzle and you had to solve it using the new mechanic. I didn't think that was particularly bad. My friend came over last night for dinner. He's one of the people I keep trying to convince to play Destiny 2 with me. He saw me putting around combat like a golf ball stuck in a sand trap and howled with laughter. There's absolutely no way I'm convincing him to buy the Edge of Fate now. Damn, the ball ruined it, dude. The ball ruined it for him. I was skeptical of Matter Spark since Bungie originally revealed it in a live stream in May. Turning into a ball and reaching secret places in the Metroid franchise is cool because those games are specifically designed around exploration, backtracking, and experimentation. Destiny 2 is not. It's a game about loading into a sci-fi obstacle course and ruthlessly murdering everything in sight as quickly as possible. I've certainly played with more open-ended exploration over the years, both in terms of platforming and in terms of shooting puzzles that unlock hidden secrets. Turning into an orb, unfortunately, doesn't play to either of those strengths. It makes platforming feel worse and disables my guns. In that way, Matter Spark is part of a worrying trend in modern Destiny, one that pursues novelty at the risk of sidelining the reason I actually want to play the game. The best feeling shooting of any ever. The Edge of Fate makes a pretty poor first impression in general. My Destiny 2 hype train currently has a full head of steam, but it's already threatening to be derailed. I don't like Kepler yet, the new zone which is spareless and feels overly constricted while at the same time lacking a clear vibe to spark the imagination. It's a lot of rocks with alien pustules growing out of them. I don't like the new streamlined ops menu that feels like a Call of Duty HQ funnel, or that the more creative planet it replaces has been desaturated to signal its forced obsolescence. It's nice, a relief even, seeing gear scores reset to 10 as we begin the power climb anew, but I would prefer to skip over the blues, the rare loot, and get right to the good stuff, the purple legendaries exotics. The new gear chase and upcoming raid might be the Edge of Fate's saving grace. A completely new system means chasing new weapons and armor in order to take advantage of the most powerful builds. The grind could be fun, it could also be incredibly tedious, but I'll take that over being subjected to another Matterspark objective. Damn. Yeah, I will say the ball in and of itself, like I mentioned before, I think that the ball in and of itself is silly, kind of looks stupid, but when you take it in the context of using it to solve puzzles, I didn't hate it in the campaign. I thought it had its place, and I definitely don't want this mechanic to carry over into anything else. I think that, you know, one time as a campaign, as an experimental, you know, as a quirky mechanic was cool enough for me. I'm good for it to be a one-off type of situation. But did I think it ruined the campaign? Did I think it makes Edge of Fate terrible? Personally, no. I actually don't think it was that bad. Do I think Bungie could have picked a different mechanic? Yes. Would it have been better? Probably. But it wasn't terrible, and it didn't make my experience doing the campaign feel awful. I actually enjoyed the narrative of the campaign, but let me know how you felt about the campaign and how you feel about Matterspark down in the comments below.